Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back with another video, and right away you could probably tell that the face scan is off with the audio. I had some audio issues, so this is all one take. I'm doing sort of a voiceover of this video. But today, we're going to be doing our first rebuild on the channel, and the team we are going to go with is the Charlotte Hornets. Once I select it, it'll take me a while. I guess I'm talking about something else. But yeah, I mean, this should be a fun team to do. LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. There's some really fun young players to watch on this team. There's also some athletic freaks like Kelly Oubre and guys like that. So this is a fun rebuild to start out with. I was, it would have made sense to do the Celtics, being that the Celtics is my favorite team, but I felt like Charlotte would be a fun team to use. Could just see here we're loading up the draft class for next year. So yeah, the goal this year is to really just, maybe try and compete for the playoffs, but, taking also wouldn't be terrible. You can see this is the team right here. LaMelo is going to be the star for our future. We got Hayward, Terry Rozier, Plumlee, who they picked up in free agency. So there's some young guys. You can see James Bouknight, the rookie that they got from this year's draft class. He should turn out to be a really good player. He's looked pretty good in preseason so far, and I like his game. He's a guy that could score on all three levels and even bring some good energy on defense coming out of UConn. I guess I'm talking about Mason Plumlee here, who they picked up from free agency. Just a decent center, but the number one goal we were thinking of doing was to bring in a big-time center, and you will see that later on in this video. So yeah, I guess I just started adjusting the lineups here, so you can see that's our starting lineup with LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges, and Mason Plumlee at the 5. Not really too much of a surprising lineup there. We got Kelly Oubre coming off the bench as our 6th man, followed by guys with P.J. Washington. This first season was sort of tough to come up with lineups because P.J. Washington is a guy who, I'm not sure if I see him in the long future as this team. He's a young player. He showed some good flashes, but I just think he's going to be a decent guy who can play the 4. I don't think he's going to develop into like an all-star type player. And I just don't know if A, I want to give him a bag, and B, if I really want him to play the 4 when we have other guys like Miles Bridges and Kelly Oubre, who are a lot more versatile at that position. So we'll just let this go on. Dude, this voiceover is all one take, by the way, so I got to make sure, I keep up. So heading into the trade deadline, I'm blocking out the record, but you can see we're not doing great at all. I'm pretty sure at this point we were 13th in our conference, so underperforming by a lot. I turned off injuries too, so that didn't have to do with it. LaMelo Ball is just single-handedly carrying this team. Terry Rozier is not playing too bad. It was just really the supporting cast. And then heading to the end of the season, you can see Giannis wins himself MVP. Evan Mobley, Rookie of the Year. Andre Drummond gets himself 6th Man of the Year. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Wendell Carter, Most Improved. And then Ime Udoka as Coach of the Year. Shout out to Boston Celtics. If you want to pause to check out all the NBA third teams and the other awards, you can do that if you want. But yeah, we didn't make the playoffs in our first season, which, I thought we would at least be able to make the play-in tournament. I don't think we make the play-in tournament for the first season, but we'll double-check as soon as we get by this. James Bouknight gets himself all-rookie 2nd team. His stats weren't too bad, honestly. His three-point percentage could have been a little bit better and from the field, but, averaging about 11 points off the bench isn't too bad. You can see the Lakers made the play-in tournament there. A little bit of a disappointment season for them. Then you got the Mavs and the Memphis Grizzlies in there as well. And then heading to we're not going to head to the other side. Yeah, the Kings. I forgot the Kings made the playoffs in this as a very high seed. I guess it was just all De'Aaron Fox. Then head over to the East. As you can see, we did not make the play-in tournament or the playoffs at all. So a little bit disappointing of a first season, but we should be able to get ourselves a high draft pick and, have that draft pick hopefully make us ascend for next season. I bet this must be so weird for you guys to like see the face cam, just me talking and nothing coming out of my mouth. It's probably so weird. Yeah, you can see the Pelicans there made a trade for Klay Thompson. I mean, Klay Thompson is probably the best guy you could have next to Zion, so that's just absolutely crazy. I guess they traded Brandon Ingram to the Warriors for Klay Thompson, which is a little bit of a weird trade, but it is makes a lot of sense for the Pelicans, I guess. And you can see the Bucks 2 years straight. Giannis, Finals MVP once again. They beat out the Clippers. And going to the draft lottery, we end up as I could not see. I forgot what pick we had, but at this point, it was really between two guys, Caleb Houston and Jaden Ivey, and we went with Caleb Houston. Just a solidified guy that could play the 3 for us, and then we could, play either Miles Bridges or Kelly Oubre at the 4. Going to the pendant options, you could pause to see who we bring back and who we don't right there. But LaMelo Ball, P.J. Washington, and Mason Plumlee were honestly no question for me to bring them back. Sorry if you hear me stutter a lot, too. This is all one take. I'm trying to keep up, so. Stacked free agency class, absolutely insane. James Harden, Kyrie, they both declined. There's some other studs in there. You could see Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine would be such a nice fit for this team alongside LaMelo Ball, but we just did not have the cap space at all. Because we got guys like Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier. They're all on some pretty big contracts. So not too much action went on into this free agency. We are going to make a trade here for Jared Allen to be our solidified 5. We're giving up P.J. Washington, Mason Plumlee, and Kelly Oubre to get ourselves Jared Allen, Dylan Windler, and 3 second-round picks, which honestly I thought that was a pretty good trade. Maybe it was a little bit overvalued, but I mean, we did get 3 second-round picks in return. We have a solidified 5 now, and Kelly Oubre wasn't really a long-term solution guy. P.J. Washington really wasn't a long-term solution guy, so I'm perfectly fine with that trade there for Jared Allen, just a shot-blocking 5 that could, get alley-oops from LaMelo Ball and just play that interior defense that we desperately needed last season. And then we make another trade here, just a little mini one just to get Jason Preston. I like him. And then halfway through the season, this year we're looking really good. We end up it's just halfway through the season, but we are the 5th seed in the playoffs, looking a lot better. Caleb Houston in his rookie year is making a huge impact. LaMelo Ball's hooping. Terry Rozier, you'll see the player stats pretty soon. Yeah, you could just see LaMelo is still just going absolutely crazy. Terry Rozier is getting buckets. And LaMelo Ball gets his first All-Star appearance as well, playing under Team Giannis. Luka Doncic wins MVP. Just incredible numbers there, too, for Luka Doncic. Usually they're even better than that, which is wild. Chet Holmgren gets Rookie of the Year, who I really wanted at the 5, but ended up working out anyways that we made a trade for Jared Allen. Yusuf Nurkic gets 6th Man of the Year, now playing for the Houston Rockets. What am I talking about here? All right. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year. Tyrese Maxey Most Improved. Jason Kidd gets Coach of the Year. And then that doesn't matter. You can pause this again if you want to see any of this. LaMelo Ball wins himself a All-NBA third team placement right there. All rookies. All right, where's our guy? He ended up in all-rookie second team, but the rookie classes were honestly stacked. He had insane numbers, really good efficiencies, 44% pretty much from 3, which is incredible. And he was shooting a lot of them as well. So to be able to average almost 13, 14 points on those efficiencies and get all rookie second is absolutely crazy. So we head into the playoffs facing off against the Detroit Pistons. We actually make it out of the play-in tournament, and we make it automatically to the playoffs. So the Pistons, that's a pretty interesting lineup right there. They got a nice backcourt, and then you can see the Lakers just have a bunch of scrubs and then their big 3. After this offseason, they just had absolutely no money to do anything. So once again, they make the play-in tournament. I think they actually get knocked off of the playoffs. Yeah, they don't even make it. You could see we lose game 1 to the Detroit Pistons there. Cade Cunningham has himself a really good game, and James Bouknight does work for us, but not enough from LaMelo and the rest of the crew. We lose game 2 as well. and we get absolutely blown out series 4-1. Really don't know what it was. I mean, we're gonna head off to the player stats here. I just realized that was the regular season one, but I think I go to each individual player to check them out. Yeah, Terry Rozier was absolutely terrible. James Bouknight balled out in his second year, going crazy in the playoffs. Jared Allen, really good pickup for us. Miles Bridges, I expected a little bit more out of him. Caleb Houston honestly did. He wasn't too great in the playoffs, but it is his rookie year. He'll bounce back next season. You'll see. And the Warriors win the NBA Finals after trading Klay Thompson. They beat the Sixers in 7. You could see we just skipped the draft class there. There was nothing too important. A lot of guys we got to give pending options to, so we'll go through those. We decided to pass up on Dylan Windler just because, $5 million, we could use that $5 million for another player that has more of an impact. You can see we don't have too much money to work out with, around $9 million. And it does suck because this is, once again, another stacked free agency class. You got LeBron, Chris Middleton, Zion, some crazy stuff. So we end up trading Terry Rozier to the New York Knicks and Vernon Carey to get ourselves Jalen Brunson and a future first-round pick. You just get yourself, a solid, smart point guard to come off the bench. And you can see we're going to pick up Shake Milton here in free agency. But yeah, Terry Rozier, he goes to the Knicks. He could add them with some scoring. He just wasn't very efficient for us. Maybe in some different scenery he does better. We pick up Jalen Brunson. We get a better backup point guard and a future first-round pick. So I thought that was a very good addition for us. And we also get off of that Terry Rozier contract. In LaMelo Ball is his fourth year now. He makes his second All-Star appearance. Sorry for the stuttering. And you can see we are the 1 seed halfway through the season. Actually, this might be more than halfway through the season. I'm not really sure yet, but yeah, LaMelo Ball is going crazy, averaging a double-double on insane efficiencies. Caleb Houston having a huge second year, averaging about 18 points on insane efficiencies. So picking him up as the 7th pick was definitely a great decision for us. James Bouknight, he's having himself a big year as well. Miles Bridges finally breaks out. We were waiting for that. So a lot of our players are really starting to break out, which is why we're at that 1 seed. So you could see we really went with the young rebuilding option. We didn't do too much in free agency. We just trusted our guys we got in the draft, and it's been looking pretty good for us so far. Ja Morant wins MVP. What else we got here? Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year. Moses Brown, 6th Man of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year for Giannis. Damian Collins gets Most Improved. And Coach of the Year is James Borrego, which is our head coach. Big moves here. Big time moves. LaMelo Ball gets All-NBA second team. And yeah, nothing too much there. A little bit of lag going on. What's going on there? All right, so we're facing the Washington Wizards, who picked up Michael Porter Jr. Really good pickup for the Wizards. But our team is definitely all round better than the Wizards. We should be able to comfortably knock them out of this first round appearance, especially being the 1 seed. J.D. Davidson going crazy for them. Didn't even play in his rookie year. And we beat the Wizards 4-1 to head off into the second round, facing the Chicago Bulls, who have almost their same core of players. They got rid of Vucevic, I guess, and DeMar DeRozan is now coming off the bench. The age is starting to kick him in the ass. They picked up Boogie Cousins as well. But once again, should be a series that we win. And it's 2-2. It's tied up right now, looking really good. You can see we go up 3-2. I'm hyped. I'm gassed. I'm feeling good. But then the Bulls come back, and you will see what happens. They tie it up, and we are heading into a Game 7. Wild stuff here, young team going against this Bulls team. we looked good in the beginning, and then the Bulls just took it away, and they started blowing us out. They bent us over and just did the rest. It just destroyed us. So yeah, that's our second, or that, to be honest, for our first playoff appearance, really good. I mean, we were 1 seed. I know for being a 1 seed, going out in the second round is never great, but it's a young team heading into the playoffs. We're going to bounce back. We're going to get better. These young guys are going to improve even more, because it's not like we got old guys. The teams like Bulls and other teams like that, they got guys that are only going to be regressing. We got guys that are going to be progressing every season. So I wasn't too mad about that. The Boston Celtics win the NBA Finals, and we're heading into our third and final season of the rebuild. You could see the rookies we got there. You could see the re-signings we did. Kai Jones, I'm looking at him. I'm like, you know what? Should we not? Should we? And then I do. And then you could see here we signed LaMelo Ball to a pretty decent, honestly, it's not even that expensive a contract. So we get LaMelo Ball on that deal. We release Gordon Hayward. We finally get off of that pretty bad contract, which should be able to help us. I think we eventually go back to re-signing Gordon Hayward to get him off the bench, but we get him for a lot cheaper than his contract before. He is 34, but I mean, he's still an 82 overall. So I was like, you know what? We're not going to do much else in free agency. We'll bring him in on a 1-year deal, and he could just sort of be like that 6th or 7th man for us to come off the bench and give us that production. So there's the starting lineup right now. If you want to pause to look at it, you can, you feel me, Having fun with this, man. Pace and space, you can see we're doing good there. And LaMelo Ball wins MVP in the 3rd season of the rebuild, and his 4th or 5th year, I believe, in his career. Absolutely balling out for us. Josh Giddey wins 6th man of the year. A little bit disappointed in Josh Giddey. I was kind of hoping he would turn out to be better, but this is not an OKC rebuild. This is a Charlotte Hornets rebuild. So that's all I really care about. LaMelo Ball just absolutely backpacking our team. Well, I would say backpacking. We got guys like Caleb Houston and James Bouknight. You'll see in a second their stats and how well they did. But yeah, those are just some incredible stats from LaMelo Ball. So I guess, yeah, that's our matchup right there, is playing the Sixers. I couldn't tell if that was our matchup or if I just clicked on them. I'm going kind of fast here. But yeah, you can see James Bouknight had some good stats, good efficiency. Caleb Houston's absolutely balling out, looking like an all-star. Miles Bridges is doing work. Jared Allen's doing work. And we got a really good bench as well. Our bench is kind of slept on. Shake Milton, I think, is a big part of this team, along with Jalen Brunson. Kai Jones, who's developing well. So yeah, we play Philly, who are an 8 seed. They have a pretty good team for being an 8 seed, but we knock them out 4-2, and we head to the second round to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. 2 young teams, Jared Allen in a revenge game. And look at the Cavs, man. Look at that front court. You'll see after I check out Garland and Sexland. But you can see they got Chet Holmgren and Evan Mobley in the same front court. Just if that were to ever happen in real life, that would just be absolutely disgusting. Like 2 versatile big men that could just handle the ball, and just absolutely insane. All right, so we win game 1, and then we win, almost all the rest. We beat them out 4-1, and we head to the conference finals to face the Orlando Magic, which I felt like, honestly, the Cavs were a better team than the Orlando Magic, so I was pretty confident heading into this. They do have a good bench, but when it comes to their starting lineup and overall star power, I definitely do think we beat them out. Caleb Houston's going crazy in the playoffs. James Bouknight, I expected a little bit more out of him. But we sim through this, and we get eliminated. 4-3. They beat us in Game 7. Unfortunate there. LaMelo Ball did pretty good in Game 7, but it just wasn't enough to beat them out. And they blew us out in Game 7, to be honest. It wasn't even close. The supporting cast wasn't good. Caleb Houston shot the ball 23. Bro, he shot the ball 23 times, only made 5 shots. That kind of pissed me off, because Caleb Houston was tearing it up the whole season. And then in Game 7, he just absolutely fumbled. But you got to remember, he's still young. I was considering doing another season, because I really do believe if I did another season, we would have been able to win the finals. But, it was a little bit late. I was getting a little bit tired. And This was before I found out there's audio problems, so that's probably a good thing I didn't keep it going. Next rebuild, the audio will actually be in match with the face scan. It's not going to be an audio over track. It just, something happened. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just how it goes sometimes, just unlucky stuff. But this was a pretty fun rebuild to do in my first one. You could see that we sort of went with the process of having a young team. We didn't really make any big time trades other than getting Jared Allen and getting rid of Terry Rozier. And we also didn't do anything crazy in free agency. We just stuck to our draft class, stuck to our young players, and it turned out pretty good for us, which is something I think the Charlotte Hornets could do. If the Charlotte Hornets just get lucky in the draft next year or the year after, and LaMelo Ball keeps progressing, and Miles Bridges and James Bouknight, the Charlotte Hornets could be a real threat in a few years. So you could see there the Pelicans win the NBA Finals. And I think this is going to be the end for this video. I'll see you guys in the next rebuild. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys want next. And I'll see you later, and peace.